everyone and welcome back to the Marketplace Now. In this short video I just want to talk to you a little bit about the brand that we used in the Marketplace Now. So everything with regards to the Marketplace Now exhibit and project has been collaborated fully with all of its participants, so in particular the artists. So the artworks, the narratives, through to even the title of the Marketplace Now, Commercial Experiences of Disability Explored Through Art, and to the brand, all of it has been collaborated and discussed and agreed with the artist before it was finalised. In terms of the title, one of the big discussions we had there was whether or not we used person first language or disabled first language. So whether it was person with disability that prioritises the person over the disability, or whether the artist sees themselves as a proud disabled person and wishes to be labelled and defined as disabled. There was two schools of thought. We had most of the participants in this project, most of the artists felt that they identified with person first language, where they say that they are a person first and that their disability is secondary or backgrounded to who they are as a person. The only school of thought that sort of changed in that, and I spoke about this in one of the other segments with Piccadilly Support Services, was in the context of autism, where quite often autistic persons that I was working with, they said that they wish to be defined as autism because it's how their brain works, and therefore they see their autism as intrinsically making up who they are as a person and defining who they are as a person. So they really didn't see any harm in being labelled as autistic. They actually found it quite empowering. Whereas that was quite different for those I worked with who had sensory and mobility disabilities. So that's why we agreed on a sort of a more neutral title of the Marketplace Now, Commercial Experiences of Disability Explored Through Art, where it wasn't really having to use either person first or disabled first language. So that just gives you a little bit of insight into the collaborative nature of the project. But now moving over to the brand, which is the core focus of today's video. This brand here was created by a beautiful artist called Sarah Kidd. Sarah was actually going to submit a full piece of art. She had her context and her concept already. She had some sketchings and she knew what her story was. However, unfortunately, throughout 2019, complications arose and Sarah had to unfortunately withdraw from the project. However, she had these beautiful sketchings and, as I say, a concept already mapped out as to what she wanted to create. So I felt it was paramount that we heard Sarah's experiences and her voice was represented in the project. And so I asked if she would be happy to let us use the sketchings and use them as part of the brand. And she was really happy to do that. And we chose this here, which is the push to open button, not only because it was beautiful, but because there's a real symbolism behind it. When I spoke with Sarah, she talked about this button as almost a sign of improvement. She says that there are improvements. They've put the button there, so not everything is bad. There's almost an awareness of impairment more or disability more, that these buttons are becoming quite commonplace in society. However, she continued, in my experience sometimes the automatic doors might be out of order, or the button will be out of order, and it will take weeks before them getting fixed. Therefore, then I'm stuck again, dependent again on others. So what she was talking about is the fact that yes, this is an improvement, but it's still not improvement enough, because oftentimes the technology of the automatic doors or the technology of the push to open button doesn't work, and then it's not maintained quickly enough or readily enough that it therefore leaves those that need to use it sort of stuck between that world of independence and dependence once again. So what we found was really interesting was that this sketch therefore took on quite a different meaning. It conveys different meanings. Primarily it shares Sarah's experience as a wheelchair user, whereby she's found the button to be useful but often in disrepair, leaving her, as we've already said, stuck and dependent once again on others. The button's inclusion of the universal symbol for disability conveys the theme of the exhibition. However, the symbols have great power, and the symbol of the wheelchair actually misrepresents many with physical, cognitive and learning disabilities who do not require a wheelchair. After all, not only wheelchair users need or use this button, we actually all use it. For example, here at Rural Arts, they have a push to open button, but it doesn't have a wheelchair symbol on it. Instead, it was put in place so that it would stop the automatic doors opening and then permitting children to run out onto the busy main road that's before the building of Rural Arts. So therefore, it can be a really practical piece of technology or kit that can be used by all. It's universal, essentially. However, that symbolic wheelchair image on the front makes it or turns it into something different, something that's almost exclusionary of ableism or exclusionary of those who have to use it, who are disabled. So therefore, what we found was that this button is both a symbol of progression and exclusion. For societally, we're trying to become more inclusive, yet there remains a need, a great need, for further change. Consequently, what we hoped was that through this exhibition, people learned about the lived realities of disability and how the social structures, the symbols, the language and stereotypes around disability perpetuate a system which is in need of great improvement, that system of ableism that prioritises able-bodied citizens. So that's just a little bit of insight into the brand for the Marketplace Night, and also share some of Sarah's experiences. And I hope it just makes people think a little bit differently maybe the next time you see a push to open button. So thanks again as always for your time. Hope you've enjoyed this video, and we'll see you again soon in another video for the Marketplace Night. Thank you guys. Bye.